Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Akira. Thank you for watching. Welcome to this special workshop. We're doing out of our headquarters in Kagawa, Japan. We're talking about pasta, right? The fresh pasta, especially, and then pasta industry is whopping 68 billion US dollars in market size in 2023, and expected to grow to 99 billion US dollars in by 2030. So like it's going to be a huge market. It's already a big market, right? And it's going to be even bigger market. So I think it's a no-brainer for us to start making great pasta and then get a piece of pie in this market, right? And there's no better equipment for us to start making not just like ordinary pasta, but like also unique craft pasta, right? That's not like that, like no consumer can find that like anywhere in the world. So that's what we're doing today. And then Richmond Gold One machine that we're going to use to make unique pasta today, right? So I want to go over bit of slides that I prepare, right, for the things that like I just want to kind of share with you guys, right, before we start making unique pasta with the Richmond Gold One. So let me go through some slides first. Then we're gonna dive into pasta making, and then later we're gonna show you guys some dish that we're gonna make with the pasta we freshly make, right? Richmond Gold One. So let me get started on some slides first. Right, so as I said, like the global pasta industry's market size is like was 68 billion US dollars, right, in 2023, and then expected to grow to 99 billion US dollars by 2030. So that's like 145% increase in 7 years. So that's crazy. And then it's not we have to take this market, piece of pie in this market, right? So the reason why we recommend Richmond Gold One machine for this project, and then other types of like noodles, is that like Richmond Gold One like is very flexible, versatile in that like what types of pasta it's capable of making, right? So standard like strong type of pasta, fettuccine, and then pappardelle type, right? And then of course filled pasta as well. Ravioli, you can make a sheet with this Richmond Gold One machine, and then lasagna, big pasta as well, right? So it's very flexible, and then it's not only capable of making variety of pasta, but also like it's capable of like making other types of noodles as well, including kind of tonkotsu noodles. That's like most popular type of ramen in the world, right? And a conventional fresh pasta as well. Then udon and sukeme, other types of Chinese noodles as well. So like it's very flexible. It's well, conventional pasta machine, for example, are capable of making pasta that are like just 32% and 36% in hydration ratio, right? But Richmond Gold One is capable of making noodles that are 25% to 45%. So it's very versatile, flexible, right? So I want to get into ingredients for pasta. So we usually use the pasta, like kind of hard wheat flour, right? Hard meaning protein content is high, so 11 to 13%, and semolina, so-called like oil flours, right? And then there's types of other types of flours, and then liquid. Of course, be water. Some pasta call for like no water, right? Just eggs. And then eggs, like we use like because if you use fresh eggs, right? We have this formula that we calculate the eggs, right? Well, weight of eggs as a 25% solid and 75% liquid, right? So that's in case of like whole egg, using whole eggs, right? So if you have if you weigh eggs, right, fresh egg like 100 grams, and 25 grams of it is solid ingredients, and then 75% of and 75 grams of it as liquid ingredients, right? So salt helps develop gluten, stretch, and then taste, right? And then we use oil. It has like glorious like smoothness on the dough, and they keep dough from sticking, and plus like we can add the flavor of the oil. I mean, usually use olive oil. Then so we have like different types of flours, right? Hard flour, semi-hard flour, medium or all-purpose flour, and cake flour. So depending on that, like gluten content, and then type of gluten, and then granule size and type of wheat are different, right? And then use of these flours vary from because of the hardness, because of the yeah the viscosity, right? Viscosity of the wheat. So I want to get into kind of more detailed wheat flour for us to understand like better about wheat, because that's the main product of the pasta, right? So protein, so basically create hardness and the strength of the pasta, right? And then when we add water, it becomes kind of gluten, and then forms web-like structures. The protein basically hardens when heated, right? And then hardness noodles with the protein content, So it basically hardening the noodles texture with like sort of like a reinforcing bar in this image. And then but starch, right? Starch plays a role in forming sticky and viscous texture. And then when we add water, right, and they heat it, it turns into like kind of glue-like and viscous texture. So kind of comes from, I mean, it creates the concrete, kind of making sticky and a viscous texture, and then kind of immersing with the, the bar, right, reinforced bars of the protein. Um, talking more about like starch, right, because it's important. So there's a two components for the starch, amylose and amylopectin, right? Amylopectin, the more amylopectin we have, right, in the starch, the chewier it's going to be no, I mean, so yeah, and chewier, right? And so it's we can say the same thing for rice as well, right? Rice and other grain ingredients as well. So to measure this, how many, I mean, how much like amylopectin we have, right? Or how much amylose we have in the flour, we can use this kind of device that we have here, our headquarters. So it measures this, elasticity of the wheat, right? And then so if you take the sample and then measure on this device, like we can actually measure it in numbers, right? So the more amylograph value we have, the more elastic that the pasta is going to be. So if you have some flour that you want to test, right, for this measurement, the value, please let us know, and then you can send us the sample, and then we can test it for you. So it's free of charge. So it's ingredients again, right? So other so well, because we are making different different types of pasta, right? So than regular like standard pasta. So we want to get into like kind of ingredients with wheat flour, right? And then semolina flour, we talked about, and then ash, it's going to be high in the semolina flour, but like well, we want it probably like coarser, but like darker than all-purpose flour, but like the more ash, because like ash basically means that like more minerals, right? So that's healthier, so that's better. So viscosity, right? And then other types of flour, like we want to think about using making pasta, is that like kind of lower protein, right? Protein content like maybe 7 to 9%. Ash kind of low, and then viscosity high. So we may want to use this type of flour to, well, because of the high viscosity, right? And then low protein, you may be able to like make like kind of elastic, kind of chewier, pasta that it's kind of hard to find like anywhere else. So and then so amount of water we add to the solid ingredients is like also very important. So that more water we add, right, the softer the pasta texture becomes. So, look at this, very different dough condition, right? Depending on like how much water you add. And then, so basically the percentage of the hydration means that like, 40% hydration means that like, okay, you're adding, 4 kilograms of water or liquid to 10 kilograms of solid ingredients or, flour, right? So that's 40% hydration means, right? And then, so one time, like, we kind of try to create this pasta that, we call like mochi pasta, right? And then, so in this chart, right, we kind of plot the mochi pasta there. And then, it's sort of kind of towards the right means that like, well, it's going to be high in hydration. And then kind of, well, lower in protein content of flour we use than, regular type of pasta. Regular type of pasta may call for like, protein content of like maybe 12%, 13%. So kind of lower, but like, it's chewier and then probably a little bit thicker, right? So this is the kind of variables that we want to have in our mind, right? When, making our pasta recipe, right? So, protein content of wheat flour, right? So that determines the hardness, right? And then so viscosity. Okay, we talked about, right, like amylopectin amylose, right? So the higher this value, the more chewier, more viscous hydration. Yeah, so we could go like from 25% to probably even like 45% to 55%, right? Then noodle size matters, of course, like really thin, and then that means like less bite, and then really thick, right? And then that means harder, more bite. And then whether we serve pasta cold or hot or warm, right? That matters. So if you serve them cold, then the texture will be hard, right? So we want to think about the final pasta texture that your customers would experience, right? To structure these variables in the recipe, right? So one kind of suggestion that like we want to make, right, when making your own pasta is that like we want to suggest like blending your flours. So for example, like in this case, right, so semolina flour, we take semolina flour, 60%. So like that kind of dominates a little bit of the pasta texture as like kind of semolina, like a kind of a standard pasta, but like you also have this sort of lower, but higher viscosity wheat flour, well, 40% of it, and we blend them, right? So kind of in the middle, like kind of taking the good part of semolina and then, good part of, wheat A flour. So in the hydration, like 30, 80% or so, or like even higher, then, you're going to have like very unique pasta that gives like, really unique texture. So, and I want to get into like production method, right? Production processes of, making a raw fresh pasta. And then, so when making dough, right? I mean, it always, or like when making any pasta, the most important process like comes down to like, well, weighing of ingredients, right? Measuring. So we always measure ingredients by weight, right? So this is the probably most important part of the whole process, whole production process. So weighing, right? Weighing is important, like, weighing them right, the right ratio, right? The 1% difference in hydration makes pasta texture like so different. So, because we want to be consistent in terms of the quality, the pasta we make, right? Every single day we serve to customers every single day because consistency is equals quality. So, so we want to be consistent, like, we want to be able like serve the same quality, high quality pasta every single day, right? So, and then mixing, right? The resting, and then well, what we call like rough forming, and then combining and the resting process to make dough. So rough forming is basically, well, we get the flour mixed, right? And then out of mixer, well, we get this like crumbles dough, right? And then we're going to feed them to the roller, and then we get this, well, sheet of dough that's very fragile still, and then we want to separate it into two sheets, and then we want to combine them through the roller. So combining process kind of making the dough stronger, right, firm. So it works on the development of the good pasta texture. So that's how we work the dough. And after that, we do this resting process. So first resting process, like after mixing, right? And then second one, this is the resting process. It promotes hydration, it gases the dough, and then, well, it promotes a better with flavor, and then relax internal stress with dough. So this is how we rest the dough for the second time. So we wrap them in a like kind of plastic bag, and then let it sit in the room temperature. So after that, right, just thin it, cut it, and portion it, and then for the pasta, for the stick of pasta, sorry, we may not do the third resting, but like some people, I mean, some restaurants, some businesses like probably go for drying process, like if they want to do the dry pasta and then cooking and boiling. So do the thinning and the cutting, right? So we're gonna make them in strands of pasta. Or like if you're doing the sheet pasta, like field pasta, you're not gonna go do the cutting this way. But there are a lot of different sizes, different shapes of cutters, right? Slither cutters, square, round, edgy. So we could use like all these different shapes, different sizes to make our well-crafted unique pasta. The cooking is very important. Cooking is very important when serving them to customers, and then it makes or breaks the pasta texture that we we have worked so hard to develop so far. So the keyword here is like gelatinization, right? Gelatinization, like that's a let's start with noodles. I mean, the pasta takes up like liquid and swell upon heating, right? And then it becomes kind of like gel-like texture. So without this happening, right, the pasta is still raw, not cooked, right, uncooked. So it's has to happen. Like for it to happen, we want to have boiling water, right? Boiling water, that's about like 98 degrees Celsius or so. Then we can start cooking the pasta in it. And then so how noodle pasta get cooked and soggy, right? So we have fresh pasta, and then we cook them, right? We cook them, and then the water kind of penetrates into the noodle pasta, and then the core, right, gets shrinks, right, to the certain point where we can call this texture al dente, right, al dente texture. And after that, like it's still the water keeps penetrating it, and then like the core, right, gets it disappears, right, but it gets soaked up in water, and then gets soggy, and then the pasta loses the texture. So yeah, we want to have want to think about, okay, how long it's going to take to to be served to the customer, and then we want to calculate, okay, let's stop cooking our pasta right here, and then let them cook until customer takes a bite. Okay, so I want to just allow me a little bit, just a few minutes, right, talking about RICHMEN Go 1, right? So RICHMEN Go 1 is being like very, very popular piece of equipment for 3 reasons. So ease of use, right, versatility, and then it has the building noodle making capabilities, right, in it. So ease of use, so automatic feeder. So once you place the dough, right, on the conveyor, the RICHMEN Go 1 takes care of the rest of the process. So RICHMEN Go 1 is equipped with these sensing capabilities that measure how much dough is going in, and then it can regulate the speed of conveyor. So, and then it also has this like very, most advanced like safety feature, right? So if you place your hand like that, and then it stops, right? It stops automatically. So it gives you like peace of mind, and then at the same time, like it's very you don't have to have like a guy who's a professional noodle maker to operate this machine to make great pasta. So and then noodle conveyor, right? So in conventional noodle machines, pasta machines, usually like the where you take the noodles out are like set the very low point right from the ground, but Richmond Gold One has noodle conveyor that's set like real high, right? 65 centimeters high from the ground. So you can put a chair right in front of it, and then you can take the noodles out like with comfortably. So it's great. And then it has this touch panel. Then you can see pretty much everything that's going on during the in the machine during operation. You can set the roll speed. You can even like diagnose and troubleshoot the machine on this touch panel. So that is very convenient. And it's very versatile, right? We talked about this chart, right? So it's very wide range of like hydration it can cover. It's capable of covering. So 25% and 45% hydration range, like you can make like any type of pasta that you can imagine, right? So the condition of dough will be like very different. So that means that like the texture, right? Types of texture that you can make is like amazingly wide. So and then of course like ingredients wise, like Richmond Gold One has this wonderful 10 kilogram silky mixer, right? Silky mixer means that like it's designed to make dough in an ideal condition. It's 75 rotations per minute the speed, and then that's the ideal rotation speed like we found to be like for the dough mixer, the noodle mixer, pasta mixer. So then it's very easy to make this like colorful flavored dough very easily. Finally, it has like built-in noodle mechanism techniques installed in this machine, right? So again, you don't have to have like professional noodle maker with over 10 years of experience to be able to like make unique craft pasta, but like you can just have a guy you hired yesterday to make pasta that's as great as that. So it's wonderful, and then again like it's safe. So you you can expect this guy to be able to like make pasta, right, great pasta, and then without getting injured, right? So it's great. Sorry. And then later in the kitchen we're gonna make some pasta dish, right? But then it's but we're just gonna show how this noodle pasta dish is made, and then we're gonna show how Richmond Gold One works, right, through the screen, right? But like that's nothing better than coming to this kind of workshop in person, right? And then for those of you for watching from United States, we have a special workshop in Houston, Texas, and then we happen to be doing it today, right? I think it was over already, and then but tomorrow. So if you happen to be like kind of close to Texas, like in Texas, or somewhere nearby, please think about coming. It's going to be a wonderful, very valuable time for you. We have a lot of stuff like we're going to share, right, knowledge and skills that you want in craft noodle making business. So and then best of all, like you can get to taste that noodles that like fresh made on the Richmond Gold One machine, and then we also have like Richmond Gold Two machine, right, available for demo. So and then it's $60 US per attendee, so like it's a steal if you think about it. So we have a page set up for you like on our website yamatonoodle.com for you to sign up, right? I think we still have a seat left so available, so please go to there, go to the website, and then sign up for your seat. And then for those before watching from Europe, right, we have showroom in Amsterdam, and then we have these wonderful guys doing this workshop, and then the one for February is over, but we have another one coming up in March, March 4th, right? Then March 11th, March 19th, I mean March 26th. So we already have a page set up for you, right? So please go to yamanoodle.com and sign up for seat. So okay, it's enough talking, and then so let's start making some pasta. So we have our Richmond Go one here, right? And then so yeah, as you can see, like this is a very sleek machine, and then actually a lot of our customers put this machine piece of equipment, right, where they can show it to the customer, right, walking down the street or something, and then so this is the solid ingredients, right, we have, right. So in Japan, we use this eggs in powder form, dry powder form, and then that's whole egg powder, and then so it's a 4 kilogram, right? 4 kilogram because of this 10 kilogram silky mixer, the minimum batch is 4, right? Just 4 kilograms. So, but the the flour, right? Yeah, flour is uh you know the the one we use for usually in Japan, right? Udon noodles. So it's low in protein content, but like very high in viscosity, value. So so liquid ingredients, right? The salt, water, and salt, right? Water and salt, and then so again, like salt helps tighten the gluten, right? So it makes it harder, and then again, like when we're using fresh eggs, right? Like think of it as like, well, 25% of us solid ingredients, and then 75% of us liquid ingredients, right? And then we are adding oil kind of directly onto the flour. Then setting the timer right on the touch panel. And then so adding the liquid, right, directly onto the lid, right. So this lid, right, has small holes, which allows this liquid to be added to the flour, right, just a little by little, and then at the same time, like the mixer is like, well, agitating the dough, right, and the flour. So, well, it's designed to be that way to, well, render the good hydration of the dough, right. And then so, but it's a total time is 10 minutes mixing, but we hate waste your 10 minutes, by just showing the mixer, right. So let me prepare this dough, right, advanced, and then so that was the resting process, first resting process, like we are doing, right. So we do the resting process by putting this dough, right, in a plastic bag and seal it. So the hydration, total current hydration was actually 40%. So like it's kind of, well, pretty high for pasta. Well, I mean, yeah, pasta like made on the machine, but like so liquid like water and then salt and then oil. So the total amount of these three ingredients is 40% to the weight of flour. So right, and then starting the roller, right? So rolling process, and then so it's starting, and then see it's you know it's just automatic, it's automatic. So you don't have to do anything from this point on, right? So it's very, that's why I would say like, well, you can put anybody without any skill, without any experience to be able like make great pasta. So see, like Richmond Gold ones like knows, okay, how much, okay, how fast do I have to go, right? How fast like do I have to like bring that? Because it knows like because the sensors that's looking at the how much dough is being fed right to the rollers, right? So it's controlling the speed of the conveyor, right? So um, in conventional noodle machine, right, you would have pasta machine like you do like by manually, right, by hand, and then you may kind of add the well too much dough at the time, and then it's gonna ruin the all the dough, right, the pasta texture. So that's really bad. But like this machine, Richmond Gold One knows, and then it's looking because it's checking constantly, right, how much dough is being fed, right, by the sensors. It's very smart, right, and then you notice that like it's working the roller, right, and then at the same time like it's running the mixer, so you can do these processes like simultaneously. That's very efficient, that's very productive, right? So after this process of first that we call rough forming, right, it the dough is still pretty fragile, pretty weak, right? So we want to make it stronger, firm, by separating it the two, separating the two, right? And then we can combine them, right? Combine these separate seeds into one. And then adjusting the roller gap, right, to 2.0 millimeter. Then going to combine them. So combine them, then you can notice that the dough that's coming out, right, is like way smoother than before. It's cleaner, like smoother, they're definitely stronger and more firm. So, with this process, we can work the dough texture because gluten that we talked about, right? The gluten is being developed, like it's like being worked out and then getting stronger through this process. So this process like vital in um, developing the great pasta texture. Yeah, so we're getting like beautiful pasta out of this Richmond one, and then so that was the first combining process. It was first combining process, right? And then we usually do this process like second time, twice, because yeah, just through sheer experimentation, like we've done like many times, and then we did this process like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times even, and then we found that like well, doing this twice, right, produces the best results, right? The And then yeah, adjust the roll gap and 3.0 millimeter, and then we can start combining. Yeah, so when we did it for like third time, the texture didn't improve. So why waste time, right? Doing it for the third time if we already have the best pasta texture from the second combining process, right? So we do this twice usually. for the most types of noodles and pasta. And then the reason the Richmond Go one, right, it's so flexible. In that it's capable of like making noodles that are pasta that are like 25% and 45%, up to 45% in hydration. Is that like, well, because of this, like, the set of big rollers it's equipped with. Conventional pasta machine has this like very small rollers, right? Small in diameters. So um, if you try to make hard noodles, right? Like 25%, 30%, the load, right? That the pasta machine gets from making these kind of noodles, this is like very great, right? So over time, you know, the pasta machine gets the heavy load, and then just start breaking up gears, and so yeah, so like you may find like pasta machine like just suddenly, right, suddenly just breaking, and then all of a sudden like it's unable to make any pasta at all, right? So but Richmond one has like big rollers, big gears. It's very durable, so it's designed to bake, well, variety of not just great fresh pasta, but like also variety of other types of noodles. So after combining process, right, so we start thinning, just thinning, right, thinning to a final thickness that before we cutting, and then so want to measure the actual thickness to, and it's 2.45 2.45 or something, and then after it's gone through the 2.0 millimeter wire gap. So the difference, the actual thickness is always bigger than the roller gap we said, because it bounces back, right? Bounces back. So you want to check the actual thickness, especially before we cut it, right? Especially before we cut it. Otherwise, pasta size of pasta, like affects the pasta texture significantly. So, and then again, like consistency, right? Consistency key. So consistency creates quality. Consistent quality creates brand, right? So if you want to grow your brand, like you want to be consistent, right? We want our customers to experience the same quality, right, over and over, so that that your trust that you have, I mean your customers have towards your brand, grow, right? So that's, so consistency, continued consistency of quality is very, very important. So that's why we measure everything. That's why we rely on this cookie method, the digital cookie method. And then this is the kind of cutter we use. And then this is a round cutter, number 18. It's about 2.0 millimeter, right? So it's a good size. It's very nice, not too thin, not too thick. Very good size for us to, experience this texture, unique texture. So we're going to cut, right? We're going to cut it, and then so as you can see, right, the pasta, like where a pasta is coming out, like it's very visible. It's pretty visible, right? So right. So it's no wonder why, like a lot of our customers, like, well, put this machine, right, where it's where like their customers can see, right? Because it's kind of fun. I mean, it's very, I mean, fun. How much fun to see the noodles coming out in front of the eyes. Well, if they're restaurants, if they run restaurant, right, then they can see their noodles that they're about to eat are coming out in front of their eyes. It's very entertaining, very fresh, and then it gives the customer like peace of mind, like that, well, wow, they are actually making, the pasta like from scratch, right? So to like kind of safety in the food that they are serving, they are in control, right? So that's why they show that their noodle production, pasta production, to their customers. So and then it's very easy to, well, yeah, change the serving size and then stuff as well, like just the touch of volume. So it's very easy to do it. So now we have like unique craft pasta that we made from scratch in the Richmond Gold One machine. Yeah, beautiful pasta. So we're gonna bring this beautiful pasta to our kitchen, right? Where we're gonna show you guys the some dish that you may want to start, serving next week. Okay. So yeah, we have this kitchen, right? Where we teach ramen, udon, right? And then hopefully someday, like soon, pasta, right? So this is a kitchen designed to for like just 8 people, 8 students, because we believe in kind of like one-on-one session, right? We wanna yeah, we wanna take we want to like kind of go into details, like what they want to create, right? So okay, great. So we have Mr. Song, our guy, the master, with us. We're lucky enough to have him showing some pasta dish like being created in front of our eyes. So thank you, Mr. Song.
はい。ではちょっとパスタ、ちょっと違うパスタ、ちょっと違うパスタ作っていきます。
Yeah, so I'm gonna make like kind of unique pasta, probably different from like what you guys seen before.
普通パスタもこの黄色いも結構綺麗ですけど、今回ちょっともうちょっと色つけていきます。
Okay, so yeah, usually pasta like get a yellow, right? You associate pasta with the yellow color, but like I'm gonna put some color on it.
これ今日ピーチのパウダーで使って、この色は赤くかピンクになるかどうかちょっとチャレンジしてみます。
Yeah, so I'm gonna use this water with the beets dissolved in it to kind of cook the pasta to see if we can dye this pasta this color.
はい、こちらです。これはレモンの汁です。
That's a lemon juice. Okay. We're going to. Okay.
で、茹で上がったら、ちょっと水で軽くで洗ってしまって。
Okay. So once we cook the pasta, right, we take them out and then wash them with the water like lightly.
で、その後はちょっと一般のパスタ、この材料を使って、ちょっと味調整作っていきます。
Yeah. So after that, I'm gonna use these ingredients to, turn it into a dish.
もう色は少し変わってますね。
Yeah, so the color is changing already.
まあ、その機械で粉混ぜて、この粉と小麦粉混ぜて作っても、一つの方法としても、今の段階でも色は変えれます。
Yeah, so well, we can actually make pasta themselves, like using this beets powder. In the kneading them into the dough, right? But we can also change color slightly by cooking them, right? In the beets water.
まあ、けど時短にしたいから、色は軽くつけてます、ね。
Yeah, so just 2 minutes. So not so much color, but like kind of pale beets color, right?
はい。とりあえずお湯で島でしばらくは大丈夫だと思います。今から始めて調整しています。
Okay, so I'm just gonna cool the pasta right there. Gonna start the pan.
で、お湯です。
So olive oil first.
これ玉ねぎです。
Yeah, so purple onion.
で、これ、ベーコンとマッシュルーム。
Mushroom and bacon.
ちょっと味しょうですね。
Okay, I'm gonna
塩。
salt and pepper.
で、ブラックペッパー。はい。クリーム。
And that's fresh cream. Yeah, see the color is different, right? It's from normal pasta color.
軽く混ぜます。
Just lightly stir.
れを使って形しろうと思います。
Okay, so using this ladle, I'm going to make it into kind of shape. It's yeah, it's beautiful. And then adding like just some basil leaf there at the top, and then sprinkling the kind of coarse black pepper. And then some cheese, right? So, so that's beautiful dish of fresh pasta that just made with on the Richmond Go One machine. It's beautiful. Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Sang. That was a quick and simple dish that you made, and then that's something you may want to start making and serving. Of course, like you can do different pasta, completely different pasta from like what we made today on the Richmond One too, and then because the Richmond One is like designed for like a flexibility, versatility. It's capable of making well any type of pasta, any type of noodles that you can imagine, right? Well, yesterday we did gyoza skin and wonton skin on a Richmond Go One machine, and then that was they were like delicious, right? So well, it's up to like your imagination, right? I mean, what kind of like pasta, what kind of noodles you can make on Richmond Go One machine. And speaking of Richmond Go One, right? So we have some special deal that's going on like until the end of this month, and then that's still already like 2 days left. So well, 48 hours, like it's not even 48 hours, maybe like 30 some hours. But so we have some special going on for Richmond Go One this month, and then so if you send us this code, right, and then you get a special offer. It's Feb 2024. Richmond now 29, Feb 2024, Richmond now 29. So if you can send us this code like by email or something, then we can give you the special offer. If you are interested in getting Richmond One Gold One machine or Richmond Gold, like other types of Richmond machines by the end of this month, which is only like 40 hours left or something. But it's well, it's a very special deal. So hurry up. And then yeah. So as I said, right, pasta industry is going to grow 99 billion US dollars in by 2030, right? And then from 68 billion US dollars in 2023 last year. So that's like 31 billion dollars up for grab, right? So if you can capture just like 1%, like even like 0.5% of this market, right, with the Richmond Go One, like the pasta that you're gonna create, unique pasta, right? Not just like ordinary pasta, but like unique pasta you can create and start, serving to the market. And then you maybe like capture like 0.1%, but that's a huge amount of money, right? Huge amount of cash that you can grab, with the Richmond one machine. So, well, think about it, and then we have more content like this, that we're gonna share, right? From now. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, and then if you like this kind of content, now please hit the like button, and then we're gonna be serving you, providing with like more content that's gonna help you drive your business right in 2024 and beyond. So please, and then don't forget to go to our website yamatnoodle.com to see if you want to sign up for the workshop, right? And then of course we can do the private demo for you too, and Houston, Texas, and then Amsterdam, Netherlands. So go to yamanoodle.com and then sign up your seat if you're interested in attending this workshop. So thanks so much for watching, and then I hope to see you back in the next workshop. So thank you so much. Bye bye.